It's 11:22. I'm the bride queen. I'm a bit nervous. I haven't been live in a while, and it's because I've been nervous. But here I am. Signed, sealed, delivered. I'm yours. That's the song that came out today. Kitty's right here. He's in a awkward position. He's like, let me see. He was so happy when I sat down right here because he was like, oh, I'm about to get some loving. Okay, so I was guided just to come on here and just share some messages. As I was sitting here getting ready, you have to scoot over a little bit, kitty. As I was sitting here getting ready, I saw imagery of the magicians, which somebody, why is this cricket? Somebody recently mentioned in one of my comments. And while I was getting it, I saw this book catch my eye next to it. And I was like, what that is? And I looked, and it's The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, which I've never read. I got this book for free at one of those little mini libraries. You give a book, you take a book. So I'm going to be pulling some. I've never even finished the Narnia movie, like the first one. I've only seen like, I think like an hour into it. And I was like, eh. Getting on my nerves. It's a bad taste in my mouth. So this is chapter 10. It says the spell begins to break. Ooh. Okay. So a lot of cool things happened last night, but one of the things that happened, I recorded my video about the Matrix rewriting itself. And in there at the end, I talk about how December, I see like a huge swollen belly, and it's the birthing of it is in January, but it's like, it's not just January. Like it spreads out, this birthing process. And then I saw this video after that, hours later on YouTube, and it was going through the year of 2026. And it was saying like January, like basically, it was saying like birthing happens in January, but in different words. And it carried it out to like February, March, you know, all the different months. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. So I'm going to be thank you for the like. I'm going to be putting that in the description of this video after the fact, the link to that video. Kitty's behind me now, look. He missed me a lot. I was gone, what was it, Monday night, and he's just been like on me since then. Anyway, so chapter 10 in this book is the spell begins to break. That's what's happening now. The spell's beginning to break. Literally what I said in my video about the Matrix rewriting itself. Highly recommend you go and watch that, because that's what I'm talking about. So it says, now we must go back to Mr. and Mrs. Beaver and the 3 other children. As soon as Mr. Beaver said, there is no time to lose. That's some too. Everyone began building themselves into coats except Mrs. Beaver, who started picking up sacks and laying them on the table and said, now, Mr. Beaver, just reach down that ham and there's a packet of tea and there's sugar and some matches. And if someone will get 2 or 3 loaves out of the crock over there in the corner. So what I'm feeling from this, what page is this? Oh, it's page 100. Ew! And then like next year is like a year 10, because if you add up the numbers of 2026, it's a year 10. 100, like completion. I just heard a click. Things come in full circle. This chapter is literally chapter 10. The spell begins to break. Like, it's insane. What more can you want? And then the next page is one-on-one. But what I'm getting from Mrs. Beaver kind of preparing and saying like, look over there and get this, is this feeling of, you have everything you need around you. I'm feeling something now. So I just felt someone here when I said that. And so when I was saying everything, you have everything you need around you. So I feel like you also have like people, beings, family, um, angels, support around you, like people here around you, uh, in your arsenal, as I've been saying recently. Kitty's tail keeps like sweeping across my back. Or is it my hair? Or is it both? It feels weird, like a little tingly sensation. So that's what I'm getting from the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, is that feeling. Earlier in one of the little reels that I did, or maybe they're still coming out, I think the last one comes out at 11:55, and it's 11:28 right now, so maybe not yet. But I was mentioning and getting this feeling of the yellow brick road. It's like it was all leading to this feeling of like you're coming back around full circle. I know in The Wizard of Oz, like at the end of the movie, Dorothy goes back to Kansas, if I'm not mistaken. I could be mistaken. I'm pretty sure though. I'm pretty sure she goes back to Kansas, and it's like with the fresh perspective is what I'm feeling. So with The Magicians, the book I was first seeing to go get, I was flipping through it and I was like, oh look, like I have a little bookmark in here. Where is it? All the way back here. I didn't think I'd gotten this far back in the book. I thought I stopped reading it like halfway through. But I have this, I wrote inside of it on the back. And I was like, oh, let me read this. And I was reading it and I was just like, I don't think like this at all no more. Like I don't think in this way. It's like a perspective of, I think, my high school self, and it's about like the sexes, like how I was treated versus the boys and how the boys were treated. And so I feel like with that full circle, the yellow brick road coming all the way back around, the number 100 completion, number 10 completion, like totality. I can't speak. It's like I literally have proof here of how much I've grown, and that's why that's the name of this live, because I read this and I was like, man, I've like grown so much. So if you're watching this, you've grown so much. Thank you so much for the 3 likes now and the support. I really like the little thumbs up things. So thank you for the people who've liked this video, this live. But yeah, you've grown so much, and I feel it's really easy to kind of forsake that and forget about how much you've grown, because this world, this society, as it's changing now, but you know, as it stood, as it stands, it puts a lot of pressure on you to constantly be leveling up, but in a way that they want or is socially acceptable. And there's not a lot of applause, or sometimes there's no applause for that time when you had boundaries for the first time, or when you were kind to yourself and didn't beat yourself up for the first time. Like nobody's like, wow, like look at you, look what you've done. Whenever I go to my cousin's football games and like somebody like completes a pass or whatever it's called, and everybody's like, wow, like they get so much applause for catching a ball. And I'm just like, man, like what if, like, wouldn't it be so nice if like the time, like you, I don't know, somebody who's struggling with, you know, alcohol, like put down a drink and like the whole stadium like was like, wow, you know what I mean? Like imagine the world like that. So this is your applause for being great, for all those little things that you've done that just have changed your life. I'm so proud of you. I don't know if you can hear the little banging sounds. It's because the house next door is getting a new roof. And this house, well, I guess across the street, has been getting a lot of revamps to it, and everything is a part of the message. Like they got like a new heating and cooling system, and then I think like maybe new stove and like fridge, and then now this is the week of the roof getting done. And I was like, man, like they have so much trust because nobody lives there now. The people that live there, they moved away to, I'm pretty sure, a different city. And then I was like, oh, there's nothing in the house. There's really nothing for people to really steal. I was like, I guess you could steal like the countertops and stuff. But I was just thinking that, and I feel like that's a message. It is a message of like, you had to clean yourself out completely in order to invite in or be able to invite in improvements. Like the house had to be completely emptied in order for now every week there's a new crew there fixing something up, so I'm sure so it can be put on the market at a higher price. And so that's the same thing that's been done with you. And with my nose running today out of nowhere, I don't know why my nose is running. Why my nose running? I got this message in one of the reels today of like purifying or purity, cleansing out. And if you're having a little runny nose as well, or if you got some sort of symptoms with your body cleansing itself, this is the time, you know, this message is for you. I was hearing earlier about viruses, and what I heard from this this doctor was that viruses are like these like cleaners. It's just cleaning your body out from something that's not supposed to be there, and it's just washing it out, like this washing fluids, cleaning fluids. So I'm gonna get some cards and we'll go from there, because that's what I'm feeling to do. I feel like there might be one more message in the Narnia book. Let me get something to drink. How is everybody doing? Hi, Nick's Queen Moon. So I was feeling these earlier, but now I'm also feeling this Rumi Oracle deck. This one, and I'm feeling, feeling this one too. This one. So I guess we'll be getting messages from all of these. Honestly, it feels like one of my great aunts, she died a couple of years ago, and I have these like very like fresh memories. Like one of my first memories of her is so weird. I just remember like waking up in a car and it was hot. I think I was sick. I had like a fever or something. So, you know, now my older brain, I'm like, I must have like stayed home from school, but my family still had things to do. And so I wake up in this car and I'm hot, and the sun, and you know, when you're sick, the sun is like so bright, your eyes. And there's my great aunt. We were at her house, and I remember her like so, the energy of her so vividly. And I remember she was such a good cook. Like her food was so good. And I remember being like so surprised at that. Like one of the last time I saw her before she died, I went over her house and she was cracking all these eggs, these boiled eggs, because she was about to make deviled eggs. And all her eggs were perfect. It's like they weren't like peeling off the skin or anything. And I remember like thinking, I was like, how do you get your eggs to like be like that? Like, how are you peeling your eggs so perfectly? And she was like telling like years of practice or something. And I was like, oh my gosh, like all these years of my life, I don't know how old I was, like maybe like 14 or something. I was like, all these years of my life, like I didn't know she was such a good cook. Like her food that day it was just so good. And I was like, I was missing out. Like my whole life, I never even thought of her that way. And then shortly after she passed, that was like one of the last times I think I was around her. So I'm feeling her energy now. Woody. So it says, this is crazy. This one says it's way too comfortable talking about sex. That's crazy, because the back, what I wrote back here is literally about that. It says, so much easier to bring up the conversation of sex. Literally, I can't make this up. Where is it? I don't know if you can see it, but I wrote it. That's insane. These things keep happening. That's like crazy coincidence. So what I'm feeling from this, and also the energy of my great aunt, is she was married to my Uncle Johnny, which is so funny because Beyonce has like her Uncle Johnny, and her song, she's like, Uncle Johnny made my dress. But no, my Uncle Johnny was not like that. He was always down for a good time, and it's because he was always drunk. So it's so interesting that earlier I mentioned alcoholism, because my Uncle Johnny was always lit, and he died early because he was always lit. But every time we had like a family gathering, he was always like out on the floor and stuff like that. He was always dancing. And this is what I'm feeling from this energy. What I'm feeling is that there's someone, a feminine energy, and they have a partner or someone that they love who is struggling with alcoholism, or who drinks too much, to put it in different terms. And the message that I'm feeling is that death is not death in the way that, you know, we've been told about it. You leave here, you just go home. You get to go home and be free again. And I remember at my Uncle Johnny's funeral, I think actually his is the first funeral I ever went to. And because I wasn't like super close with him, like I wasn't sad about it, but I remember my uncle and my stepdad, like they like had to really contain themselves, because they like burst out laughing at a joke my uncle said, and they were like this, like during the funeral. And it's a joyous memory that I have. It was lighthearted. My Uncle Johnny was always lighthearted, always dancing in a good vibe. And so if this is something you're resonating with, the message is to remember that like the death isn't the end, and funerals can be a celebration of life. Especially I'm feeling like if the person is somebody like Uncle Johnny, like he enjoyed his life. I hope he did. He seemed like he did. You know, I don't know how much a person who is, you know, a alcoholic is, you know, internally happy, but from what I remember, he seemed like he was a happy guy. And so it's like, don't worry about him, your version of Uncle Johnny. Like, they're good, they're fine. I know even now when my her name is Vaughn, my auntie Vaughn, my great aunt Vaughn, like comes around, she's always like solid. She's not stressed or like worried about anything. Like she comes in and she's like, buy me those, like she always wants like dark cherries. She likes the dark cherries. I've never bought her them because I'd be broke. But she always be like coming in like insistent. She's confident, she's strong, she's not suffering or confused in any way, you know, having left. She just left here, and then she can come back here if she wants, you know. They're free. Okay, so let's get, I'm feeling Cali Oracle. I don't know why I'm so thirsty. Thank you for the like. It's three views and 3 likes. That's such a nice thing. Kitty, he's like trying to go to sleep. He's like, Kitty, I feel like I want to put him on camera today. Kitty, you want to get in the camera? Let's see if he'll go. Kitty, you're on the camera. Oh, I see. That's hilarious. Okay, I'm feeling to get both of these decks at the same time, so we'll do that. I will listen to my intuition. Oh my gosh. There's like people who mix their decks up. That's what I'm feeling from these. Like they want to be combined. So everything is a message here. I'm gonna scoot over so you can be right there. Oh, this one just came out. This one came out in one of my reels that I did today. This Divine Discontent. This is one of my like favorite and least favorite cards, because from how I take it, it's basically about like you're discontent with your life, but it's because you're supposed to be. Like you're not supposed to be comfortable. You're supposed to be moving and shifting and on to better things. And I was thinking that today because I'm like, I can't be normal. Like I can't be normal. Like I'm not meant to do the path of, you know, work a 9 to 5 or go to college and get a new degree and then get a job from there and own my own practice. And, you know, like that path that like we're told to do, like work your whole life and then die. Like, like I'm not supposed to do that. And one of the things is like, it's so interesting. It's like I was talking to my cousin yesterday and she was like, she was talking about like working and like you need to get it, like somebody in our family needs to get a job, they need to work. And this process of me not having a job for a couple of months now, I had to really be faced with that feeling of like I'm not worth anything if I'm not working. I'm not worth anything if I'm not getting an education in college or, you know, getting some new certificate that somebody cares about, 1144 on the time. And I was really faced with that feeling and I was like, fuck that. Like I'm still worthy, you know, nothing outside of myself like makes me worthy or like gives me value or worth. And so like this card is like kind of like that. It's like you're supposed to be getting out of the system. But then today when I was cleaning out Kitty's litter box, I was like, that's fine and dandy, you know, that I'm not meant to be normal. But then like, what am I supposed to do? You know, where's the abundance that comes from doing what I'm guided to do? Where's the abundance that comes from like this unbeaten path? And it's this thing that's been bothering me my whole life. It's like, okay, so I know, I get it, I understand, I hear you, I'm not supposed to be doing this, but then like, when is what I'm supposed to be doing gonna pay off? It's that feeling. So if you've felt like that, you're here for this. And I feel like one more, I feel like they just want me to pull off the bottom. And these are the ones that I pulled earlier in my reel, so go watch it. I forget what it's called. Maybe later I will just put it in the description. So now the bottom of the deck is the Dance of the Divine Feminine, and we're gonna pull some from this Kali Oracle deck. I'm hearing I'm almost done. I'm almost done. Oh, I smell food. It just got in my nose right when I paused. I think of you. We're gonna do this one. Kundalini Shakti. My nails are dirty, and I'm like, I don't know why. I keep trying to clean them out, and they just, you know, it's like it's annoying. It's annoying, bro. All right, they're saying this one, but I don't want this one. I don't want this one. Give me something else. Something I haven't seen in a while, or something that's like, you know, more direct to this message. This one. I'm Megan Thee Stallion. Okay. Chinamasta. I'm probably chopping these names up. I'm sorry, I'm American. They teach us over here how to be very American. Oh, this one is super scary. I love this deck. I feel like it like wards off, like it weeds people out. Cause I feel like this deck could easily like scare people. And I feel like I can see really clearly like who's not like fucking with me, you know, with this energy. And so I feel like that's also a message for now, with combined with everything I've said, like how much you've grown, the yellow brick road coming around full circle. It's your energy now quickly weeds out people, you know, weeds them out very, very easily. Like people who don't have the purest of intentions or the most loving intentions for you, they easily get pushed out of your energy. And this is also something I've noticed like during this job free time. And I'm like, I need to stop saying that because I'm not job free. Like I'm a guide. I'm a guide. That's what I do. I'm a guide, I'm a channeler, I'm a healer, you know, I'm all these things that they tell me like, you know, it's not qualified. Oh, somebody's so sweet. I hope you stay that way. Somebody said, hey, beautiful. But yeah, weeding them out. That's what I'm feeling. So I want to get into this divine discontent and this Kundalini Shakti first is what I'm feeling these two the most. So I'm gonna be reading from the decks, from the books. Sorry, Kitty, I have to shift, baby. Hold on. These are both decks by Alana Fairchild. Let me see. Take it down. I really wanna take it down. Show me what I'm about. Okay. This one. It says, hers is the rising consciousness that evokes instability within, clearing the inner pathways for higher consciousness to manifest. Inner disturbance and instability wrought by Kundalini Shakti is an obscuring grace. Internal disorder is a necessary step towards divine reorganization. Reassure your heart that no matter what may appear to be at a spiritual level, all is well. Outworn energy is being processed and broken apart. From the ashes of your inner fire, you shall emerge anew. Let what needs to happen, happen. These decks are always so fucking accurate. I always tell people who aren't like comfortable with tarot or like new beginners, but they have like that little interest in there. I'm like, you gotta get like Alana Fairchild, get her decks because they're always accurate, and I feel like it doesn't take a lot. Like I don't really have to shuffle these decks much. Like this one it was on the bottom of the deck, and the only reason it took longer for the other ones is because I was insistent. I was like, I don't want these cards. But the messages are always spot on. In my The Matrix is Rewriting Itself video, which you should go watch, I talk about this. I talk about exactly what I just read. So I'm gonna keep reading. Within the subtle field of the body is a powerful, creative, and awakening energy known as Kundalini. When the soul is ready, this energy, rather like a snake uncoiling, stirs and rises. Awakened Kundalini becomes Kundalini Shakti, moving according to its own pace, path, and wisdom. It clears the chakras, purifying body and mind, preparing the body to more readily receive spiritual energies, weave through the subtle energy body from the base of the spine toward the crown of the head, seeking release through the top of the head. So if you've been seeing snake imagery. What else? I feel like maybe like hot ears or itchy ears. I felt really itchy ears when I was getting ready for this video. So those things are signs. As purification is rarely an enjoyable experience, I'm about to throw this book down. Didn't I say purification? I said that at the very beginning. I don't know how many people are still watching that were at the beginning, but I said that. And in one of the reels that I did today, it's not a reel. I keep saying reels. I'm not on Instagram. Shorts. One of the shorts I did today, maybe that's a message for somebody. Maybe there's a reel you just see on Instagram. In one of the shorts I did today on YouTube, I mentioned purification. As purification is rarely an enjoyable process, this powerful natural process requires courage. As energy shifts and we are cleansed emotionally, we may have physical symptoms. I said that with the runny nose, of discomfort and dramatically fluctuating moods. That's been me. Fluctuating moods, baby. This is why, like, I haven't been like really hanging out with my friends. Like I was telling my mama, like I have plans to hang out with one of my friends Saturday, and she was like, "Oh, that's nice," because I haven't hung out with them. I'm like, it's not because like I'm not invited, you know, I'm a cool kid. It's because I have been very like intolerant. I get like upset, like frustrated really easily, and I'm like, I don't want to be throwing it on people. So maybe that's a message for you. That's my hair. He's so interesting. Like he's sitting behind me now. Like how does he like know that? Like he knows like the camera's here. Cats are so smart. Everybody's so smart. Anyway, processes may be confused in our perception, not as astute as it may otherwise be. Like sediment being sifted from the bottom of a water glass. That which was clear becomes temporarily muddied. As the sediment is removed, the water settles again, but with more clarity. The oracle indicates a need to be patient and to allow for the confirmation of signs and intuitions. You do not need to ignore signs to act, but it is wise to recognize that you are presently within a liminal space of healing. The way things look now will change dramatically in the not too distant future, but it is not wise to try and build a foundation on shifting ground. Be patient. Trust that you will know when the time to act is upon you. When Kundalini Shakti arises, energies are beginning to move in new ways. This oracle indicates there is something within you that has been dormant. Somebody said this shit today. That fine ass man, what's his name? I think he goes by like Archangel, like Gabriel or something. Is that fine ass man with those tattoos on his face? I'm gonna put it in the description when I rewatch this. He was saying about this today, I think, dormant abilities, or maybe I just wanted to bring him up because he's fine. Perhaps for a long time, even lifetimes, it is now reawakening. This message could relate to an aspect of your being, even a past life talent that will further develop in this timeline. It could be a stalled project coming back to life again, or a reinvigorated sense of purpose following an unexpected inspiration. Moving forward, an ascension to a new level of experience and being are predicted. Sometimes there is quite a long period of incubation on the spiritual path when not much seems to be happening. Kundalini Shakti is an inner movement of energy which will eventually demonstrate an outer effect that is often considerable. It can seem illogical to the intellect, but if you want the externals of your life to change, go within and work on your inner self-healing. Through trusting in protecting the process of inner work, shielding it from prying eyes and ill-informed, fear-based negative opinions, a new aesthetic or a new authentic self is generated. It's funny I said aesthetic. We don't have to know how much. Okay, I'm gonna stop reading soon because I keep messing up the words. I feel like that's a sign. We don't have to know how to accomplish that. The movement of the Kundalini Shakti is an awakening energy with its own creative intelligence. So I got two different messages. Oh, somebody said on point. On God, it's on point. I had said on God in forever. I feel like that's something, but I have two messages. So earlier before this, I was I was applying for these jobs that I don't want to apply for. And it's funny because like they always like don't respond, or they like something is not available with them. Like it keeps being blocked, and it's because I'm not supposed to be doing it. But anyways, I was applying for this job today, and I remembered one of the last jobs I had where I was, how old was I at the time? I think I was 25, and the person I was teaching was like 28 or something like that. I was teaching him like history and stuff so he could pass the what's the military one, like the military test, which I don't think I told them, but I'd done really well on that test. I'm a pretty good test taker. I like tests. The written kind, not the ones in life. But anyways, I remember that boss, the boss of that job, she was such a cold-hearted person, and I could feel her being super jealous of me. She was this like older white lady, and the way she talked, you could just feel she was giving Karen, y'all, and you could just feel that she hated the fact that I was like young and beautiful and black and so intelligent. And she was trying to find any way she could to kind of like humble me and bring me down and remind me of her rank above me. And one of the complaints she had towards me, which I've never had like somebody complain about me because I'm awesome. Like all my bosses, I think, except her, like had like high regards for me. Even the ones that like didn't want to admit it. But I have a point that I'm making. One of her complaints towards me when I was working with this person that was older than me was that I wasn't making him read aloud enough. And I remember thinking, like, I'm not gonna tell this grown man, like, I'm not gonna encroach upon him like that. Whenever we would be reading different chapters, I'd ask him, hey, do you want to read all of it, or do you want like to go back and forth? And depending on what he wanted to do, I would base our lesson off of that. And I just remember feeling like she had no respect or consideration for another person's consent or another person's I guess consent, or like what they wanted to do, their preferences. She only saw him as like someone who was stupid, basically. That's what I was feeling, because I'm very psychic and very intuitive from what she was saying. That's what I was feeling while reading this. Oh, look, I knocked it down. That's what I was feeling while reading this, is like that memory of this vile kind of pigeonholing woman. Like, so maybe there's someone like that, and somebody watching this is life. And I'm pretty sure I quit that night. Like when I got called into the office, I think it was like the third time they'd call me in there to talk about something I was doing wrong, how I was dressing wasn't allowed at this fucking part-time job where they were underpaying me. They have the audacity to check me about how I'm dressing. It's crazy, the entitlement of these companies and these people. But yeah, after those, so I feel like there's someone who needs to quit a job. Oh, it's upside down now. The other thing I was seeing when I was like talking about that guy, that Archangel Gabriel guy, and I was saying how I find him attractive, it reminded me of what Taylor Swift called the shot, take your shot, heard around the world, where, I don't like saying his name, it's okay. Travis Kelce, like talked about like Taylor Swift on his podcast, and like she ended up hearing about it, and like that's how like they ended up connecting and getting together. And I've seen these kind of things like work out in my life, like things you wouldn't believe. So I'm feeling like somebody, like, you voicing what you want out loud just may be the thing that like attracts it. like you saying that you want something or someone or to work with someone might be the very thing that ends up making you work with someone. Like, you know, saying it in a video or texting it to, I don't know, yourself, or setting a reminder to yourself like, hey, by this date, like I'm gonna have this, or I'm gonna be working with this person. Like saying it or putting it out there could be the very thing that attracts it to you. And I know you've seen this in your life. I know I've definitely seen this in my life where I've said something, or I'm like, I want something, or I'm doing something today. And then that day, like I get that thing very quickly. So the next one, just recap. These are the other cards. So if you have these decks, these are the ones that came out. Or sometimes you can just look them up online. Like these cards from the Cali Oracle deck, number 20, number 13, and they'll have the written passages online. Because I'm not going to be able to read all of them. Well, I guess I could, but I'm not going to read all these messages. So we're going to read this one, Divine Disconnect, from the Rumi Oracle deck. Where is the box? So I heard deadbeat. So somebody's dealing with a deadbeat parent, deadbeat dad, deadbeat mama, baby daddy. Somebody's a deadbeat. And I feel it's frustrating because maybe a lot of people with like want this person or to want to have a child with this person, but you know from personal experience of having a child with this person that it ain't always chalked up to be. It's this feeling of they're seen as somebody that's like a good person, reliable, strong, and you're like, no, they are not. I remember, it's a lot of jobs coming up today, but I remember at, it's actually the job that I was at for the longest time. There was this person there, and I remember towards the end, everybody was like so impressed by this person and so concerned about this person because they'd been in a car accident. But I knew they were fine. And that person had been so mean to me. Oh, the light changed when I said that. It changed to red. That person had been so mean to me, horrible to me. And everybody at work was like, oh, like poor him. Oh, I hope he's doing well. Send him the best wishes. And he was just viewed in such like an honorary kind of space. And I remember being furious because I'm like, that motherfucker, like, he did this and he did this. He has no honor. You know, he's so cruel. So that's something I'm feeling from this, like this, again, this discontent. So there's definitely somebody like this, whether it's a boss or it's like a deadbeat partner or past partner, ex or something. Number 12. Winter falls upon us so sweet, so spring can bring new growth. Cry the tears, allow the longing, sadness brings surrender and a deep desire to be free. Rumi. Okay, I'm gonna skip ahead. I am broken and in need of your tenderness for healing. I am empty and in need of your filling. Not with stuff and bits, but with the most precious nectar of divine fulfillment. Nothing else will satisfy me. Please restore me to wholeness. I can bear this missing piece, this broken disarray no longer. I listen and I cajole that wise heart of yours. I praise it for its honesty and longing. For the longing is an irresistible perfume to be beloved, attracting the only salve that will soothe the divine discontent of your truth-speaking heart. That of divine presence, absolute and unquestionable. So I almost said like president or present. and I also like messed up and said Sweeney. So like maybe that's somebody's name, or maybe somebody that called you Sweetie, or it's called Sweetie. But I know Sydney Sweeney is an example of one of those people that I feel was kind of like getting to that space of being viewed as like American sweetheart, and then it turned sour. So maybe so it could be different for different people, but maybe you're the person that's wrongly being viewed. Maybe there's another person who's kind of made people in the office or people you know think of you in a negative light because of false characterization, like defamation, something like that. And I also wanted to say, if you're still watching this, the 2 people watching this right now, please subscribe, or 3 people now. Please subscribe, please like this video so we can stay connected and we can be superheroes. Okay, now I'm gonna read more of the part, okay? It says, there is a sense within you, perhaps quite obvious to your conscious mind, or perhaps only dimly registered as an unnameable underlying sense of anxiety, that something in your life is not quite right. It may be the sense, even amongst so much gratitude, of a yearning yet to be met, a longing yet to be fulfilled and satisfied. This is the pain of the awakening heart. The heart is capable of bliss and ecstasy, reverence for the sheer beauty and wonder of creation. Yet, as the heart matures, there will be a process of deep, passionate longing that awakens for the divine. It is the impatience for the caress of the great lover, for the presence of the divine to come to you. Over time, that longing will grow from a mild inner sense of incompleteness, needing to become whole. It will develop into a holy fever, a sacred rage, a stamping of dancing feet, a pounding of fists upon the altar, and a longing so deep and distressing that one may well break into tears at the impossibility of bearing the pain of apparent separation for even a moment longer. Where is my beloved? Cries the awakening heart. I call for my beloved, and yet I am here, still waiting. I can stand this no longer. As devotion grows and passion for the divine intensifies, so too does this yearning, so much so that this may come to feel as though your heart is breaking for the divine, or perhaps you are not quite there yet. Your heart is attached to smaller gods such as your status, your job, your lover, your body looking a certain way, or being able to live your life in a particular way. These smaller gods are not necessarily an issue, yet you have drawn this oracle, and so it is guidance for you that the divine wants to draw you closer. Sometimes that means we will have the meager meal wrestled from our hands so we may feast upon something far more delectable and grand. The divine is a fiercely possessive lover. If there is a face of another beloved preventing you from longing for the divine embrace, and if you cannot see that it is the divine beloved within your lover that you are loving, well then, something will be done by heaven. So make your relationship sacrosanct. Seek the divine in all things. When you cannot, when the power of lesser gods has you in its grip, acknowledge it. Bear witness to it. Do not chastise. Instead, be truthful. Let your heart break and lie prostrate on the floor, hands clutching and head bowed, as though only your sadness and plight could stir the heart of the divine beloved into descent of succor and grace, saving you from a life far too bland for your exquisite Epicurean palate. Don't misinterpret the pain and think that something really is wrong. If you are surrounded by status and money and cannot understand why you should mourn, it is even more important that you allow yourself to do so. Mourning is to be felt. understanding is not so relevant. But if you must seek understanding, then know this, dear blazing angel, you are just waking from the deepest slumber, and with your awakening heart, you are realizing a truth. A part of you, deeper and wider, vaster and more instinctive, truthful, and intelligent than your mind, is lonely for the divine embrace. This is right. This is sensible. This is sanity. It is the pain, the real noble pain of the heart that says, there is something more than this inadequacy, this settling for plastic instead of precious gemstones that must end now. I cannot be fed by pixelated sunsets and animation upon my computer screen. I yearn to be blasted by so much radiance and beauty by the real thing that I become stupefied. I must witness so much divine splendor that all I can utter is some incoherent grunt, my mind embeddled, and my heart ignited by the presence of my beloved. I want to become a fumbling, ecstatic wreck in the presence of my beloved. I want to allow this pain, this yearning, this divine discontent to guide me to my holy lover, so my life may never be the same again. And so it shall be. The discontent, divine growing within you is the beginning, not the destiny. It is purpose. Its purpose is to lead you into your greatest connection yet with divinity. Do not resist it. Witness it. Do not dismiss it. Trying to cover up its smell is with rose petals. Let your rank discomfort be the pathway to divinity. Look beyond what is, what has been prized and treasured and is now found to be plated and not the precious gold that was once esteemed to be. Don't be scared, for you are my sidekick on this great holy adventure. I am here, you see, just around the corner. I have you in my sights, though you may not see me yet. I am holding a loaf of fresh bread, hot from the kitchen of the Creator, hoping to entice you in its wafting scent, tempting you to follow me on towards something of far more substance. If you are still stuck on pine-scented air freshener, imagining it is anything akin to the wild scent of the pine forest for real, then how can I tempt you? Let the stench be the stench, then the fragrance of God can be discerned, and together we can leave what is less behind. Once and for all, grabbing like hungry school children for the divine bread, sweet, fresh scent filling the air. Okay? Ta-da! Okay, I'm gonna take a moment for any last remarks, and then I'm gonna skedaddle. So let me see. Okay, I'm hearing go back to the beginning, start over, reset, start from the top. If you keep finding your routine or your plans are being thwarted, think of it as a kind of Groundhog Day scenario where you're repeating the same day over and over again. In this instance, you know, just like the movies, that it's because something needs to be changed, rearranged, redone. So keep trying, keep going back until it clicks, until it happens, until it feels right. Become hungry in the quest for kingship. Become insatiable for the hunt for the crown. These steps, this pathway is the road to remembering who you are. Isn't that worth all the time, all the trial and error you can afford? as I've said, I never finished watching the movie, and I've never read this book, but I know that the kids end up being the leaders, the kings or whatever of Narnia. And that's what I'm feeling. This is worth the trial and error, the struggle, the, okay, let's start again. Let's try again, try again, try again. Let's try something different. It's worth it. That is the message. Strongly, strongly encourage you to go to my YouTube channel, watch my The Matrix is Rewriting Itself video, watch or read my posts, my community posts. I have really good messages in those. I feel like people don't be looking into them, but they're really good. The Mr. Nobody posts are really good. The one with my face where I'm in my car, that one's really good. It's activations and codes in there. I don't just be posting shit just to post shit. Everything I do with intention, and so do you, and that's why you're here now. So thank you so much for your support, and as always, thank you so much for being here, for your contribution, for your love of the self, and I'll see you soon. Bye.